Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Jeremycrazy30 Indy in WWE 2K25. Now, I know I've mentioned about not touching the tag teams at all or anything, or the stables, but I found a way to remove people from the actual tag team or the stables and whatnot, and create the most kind of current ones, like A-Town Down Under. I mean, it at this point it's not even a thing anymore that Grayson Waller is with the New Day, and Austin Theory has been in catering or behind the scenes right now, not being used. So I would imagine they are removed and they are no longer a thing anymore, but I'm keeping them in there for right now. And then we have the recent allies of convenience of Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair that's happening right now. Alpha Academy, American Made is still going on. Bianca and Jade, if they're still, but they don't seem to really be a thing anymore. But within this game, they still have them, so I'm keeping it. The Bloodline and Fabulous Hardcore that has been recently made that I've found between BFAB and Mitchin. Final Testament, Fraxium, Gallius, the Green Regime, with the Secret Hervis of Elbafire and Piper, Niven, and then I can't make the Fatal Influence because there is no Laney Reed, so these two are the only two that are in the game. On the Judgment Day, I did remove Carlito. He is no longer a part of the group, and since it caps out at 5, I'm not adding anybody. Otherwise, Raquel and Roxanne would be added to the Judgment Day. Damage Control is obviously no longer around because Dakota Kai and Io Sky is not part of it, but obviously with Dakota Kai being released, the only ones that are left, and with Bailey moved on with her character, that Kabuki Warriors, the Katana Chance and Caden Carter, Los Garza, the New Day. I added, like I mentioned, Grayson Waller to it because that's where he's in right now. Nia and Lash. I looked and see if there was a tag team name for it, and with most sources that I've looked said there was not, as they are still freshly new, and it's kind of WWE's way of having a mentor with mentee. Nia Jax, involving Lash Legend into the main roster, so kind of like a mentorship for that reason. With that, of Nia just showing her the ropes of this is what it's like, and her, if it was her first official match, which I kind of heard that at War Games, and she did quite well. Then I saw that there's NXT Outsiders of these 4 men that are, on a team, and they invaded TNA, and Stax is no longer part of the family and everything, so I removed the family, and Tony D'Angelo is still in the game, but they are no longer a thing. The OG Bloodline, but then I created OG Bloodline with the 3 that is happening right now, and then I guess Piper Niven and Chelsea Green have something, but it's not connected with the Green Regime, so I just kept it in there. Pretty Deadly, Street Profits, eliminating BFAB, as BFAB has been removed for a while. The Terror Twins, my tortures that I custom made, well, not custom made, but within the personas of putting a name to the face and creating the tag team for it, and then the War Raiders. I could remove Valhalla as she is no longer part of the roster. So then all you would have to do is just remove and save, and she is no longer. Did I duplicate it, or let's see. I think I duplicated it. Oh, no, they're no longer there. That is the first time I saw that happen. Usually it's will try to back out, and then I hit no, and it doesn't save all the progress of all like the 10 tag teams that I created. Yes, they're just going to be in it twice. Okay, so I'd like to save my changes. So, there's that. And then what I was also going to do within this is, since Aiden Sky has kind of been the only one so far that's had a championship so far, that these guys can stay in it, and that it will tell me that there's these others, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. I thought I removed them, but they will be a part of the tag team division. Yeah, there's only divisions. So now there's 4 teams. Oh, I guess I forgot that the Torturers kind of set precedent too with having the tag team titles as well. But and then kind of edit that division too, and having those girls there, even though they will not be part of the singles division, but they will have a, I guess I recorded those few videos, like sometimes I do it in batches and stuff like that, and then I just like forget who has the title and who does not. So I guess right now Aiden Sky was the first one, and then it ended up being the Tortures, and then Lily within the last video won the women's division, and so she is she has to defend it a couple of times, and then she is eligible to make it to NXT, and so we'll see how far that can go. So the way I'm having it is have this indie promotion, and all these people that are not involved in WWE anymore are kind of like a stepping stone of, they stay in this indie promotion, they do not get bumped up, but they stay here, and I create custom superstars, whether it be using the selected personas or create one from scratch. And kind of move them up in the chain. But since there's not 2 titles for the women's, it's only the main championship that after they win it and they defend it like maybe 2 or 3 times, or if they lose and they become a 2-time, then they move up to NXT, and then after NXT, if they were to accomplish that within their push, or whatever the case may be, that they move up to SmackDown, and then SmackDown to Raw. With kind of how it is obviously NXT is the developmental slash, they have their own TV stuff, but most people still consider it as the developmental, but yet on TV, so it just, not necessarily adds pressure, but it's just showcasing their stuff as what WWE can put as a product within their developmental stuff. So, and then out of the 2 main rosters, most people view as SmackDown being the B show and Raw being the A show and stuff like that. So after they prove from NXT, they go to SmackDown to Raw, and then that's kind of it. And then they can go, I may even put them back or forth or whatever. Say if they were to win it on Raw, then they end up losing the title, and then I move them back to SmackDown. Or if they're able to regain the title, then they stay on Raw, and whatever the case may be. But once they're on the main roster within SmackDown and Raw, it's kind of like a coin flip of whatever it may decide. So with that, and then with Aiden Sky being kind of the first person to get this mid-championship, I am kind of electing to edit the division and add Ace and Brody Hunter, since they haven't been able to get the main roster or the main show title of the biggest one of the show, that bumping them down to get the main mid-card, and then mid-card to main event 1, and then main event 2 NXT, and so on and so forth. So kind of moving stuff around, and now there's 2 tag teams for the women's division. Eventually there'll be another tag team, whether it be custom made or I use personas and stuff like that, but possibly within the women's division, or using downloads. But the way that I looked within the first 30 pages of finding superstars, I did not find much female superstar, if at all any. So that is all saved, so that is all part of that division. That what needed to be done. So we will move on to Raw, simulate all the matches, just kind of go through them. And Becky Lynch won against Roxanne. Finn and JD won against the War Raiders. Even though I disbanded Valhalla, it probably takes a show to register it. Bailey lost to Rhea Ripley. Chad Gable won against AJ Styles, and CM Punk won over Gunther. Let me go to the next show. We have 3 matches for NXT, with Charlie Dempsey winning over Lexis King, Kalani Jordan winning over Wendy Chu and Jada Parker, and Oba Femi winning against Ethan Page. Then we have my show, and we are starting off with the champion, Joe Coffey, in a non-title a match starting the show against Chris Danger. And then we have Lily winning over Gigi Dolan in a non-title match. Then we got Oro Mensah over Giovanni Vinci. And then Dakota Kai winning over Indy Hartwell, Isla Dawn, and Tegan Knox. Fatal 4-Way. Akira winning over Scarlett. Carlito losing to Baron Corbin. And Katana Chance and Kaden Carter winning the tag titles against Elektra Lopez and Shotzi. Then we have SmackDown. Kevin Owens winning over Randy Orton. Roman Reigns winning over R-Truth. Tiffany Stratton winning over Jade Cargill. Piper Niven winning over Candice LeRae. And Solo Sikoa winning over Damian Priest. Then they got SummerSlam going on. And we're going to simulate all matches. So Bayley winning or retaining the title over Rhea Ripley. Shinsuke Nakamura winning or retaining the United States title over Carmelo Hayes and Jimmy Uso. Solo Sikoa losing to Kevin Owens. Raquel Rodriguez winning the Intercontinental Championship over Natalia and Lyra. Bronson Reed winning in a triple threat against Tyler Bate and Seth freaking Rollins. Liv Morgan winning over Roxanne Perez and Becky Lynch. Then Jey Uso winning the World Heavyweight Championship award, keeping it over Dirty Dominic Mysterio. That is night 1 of SummerSlam. Then we have Chad Gable keeping or winning the Intercontinental Championship over Braun Breaker. Mitchin got the United States title over B-Fab and Chelsea Green. Nia Jax over Candice LeRae. Charlotte Flair over Tiffany Stratton for the title. CM Punk won over Gunther and Sami Zayn. Finn and JD keeping or regaining the tag titles over the New Day of Woods and Kofi. And Cody Rhodes winning over Roman Reigns. Then we go to the first Raw after SummerSlam. Got CM Punk over Gunther, Jey Uso, and Dirty Dom. LWO of Wild and Del Toro winning over Finn and JD. Bronson Reed over Sami Zayn. Rhea Ripley over Maxine Dupree. Becky Lynch over Liv Morgan. And that is it for that. Then we have NXT with Wendy Chu over Kalani Jordan and Tatum Paxley. Jakara Jackson and Sol Ruka over Nikita Lyons and Tatum Paxley. So she was double booked. Then we got Lola Vice over the Thea Hale. Jada Parker over Nikita Lyons. And Javon Evans, Ethan Page, Trick Williams, and Obafemi. Javon Evans wins. Then we have my show. We got Carlito over. I thought I disbanded him from Judgment Day. You guys saw it, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's a bug. But Carlito over Baron Corbin. Lily winning a triple threat over Akira and Sonya Deville. Karrion Kross over Joe Coffey. Aiden Sky over Oro Minsha. Authors of Pain over the Good Brothers. Dakota Kai over Indy Hartwell, and Gallius winning was Mark Coffey and Wolfgang winning over Demon Slayer and Chuckles, the Tortures. So we have Gallius being all crowned, with Joe Coffey being the heavyweight champion or the Jeremycrazy champion, and the tag team of Gallius being tag team champs. So we got Cody Rhodes over Ilya Dragunov, Carmelo Hayes losing to LA Knight, Nia Jax over Piper Niven, Tamatonga over Montez Ford, and Damian Priest over Randy Orton, Kevin Owens, and Roman Reigns. Then we got Raw. Becky Lynch over Liv Morgan, Bayley over Valhalla, CM Punk over Gunther, Finn Balor, JD McDonough over Ivar and Eric, the War Raiders, the Kabuki Warriors keeping or winning the tag titles over Bianca and Naomi. And we got NXT. Kalani Jordan over Wendy Chu, Thea Hale over Nikita Lyons, JC Jane over Sol Ruka, Jada Parker over Tatum Paxley, and Opa Femi over Trick Williams. And we go to my show. We got Dakota Kai over Tegan Knox. And we have Authors of Pain over Gallius. Authors of Pain winning. Wesley over Oro Minsha. Joe Coffey losing to Karrion Kross. Lily winning over Indy and Cora Jade. Brandon Collins over Chris Danger, Giovanni Vinci, and Tyler Breeze. Kommander over Carlito. And we got SmackDown. Lash Luncheon, Nia over Bianca and Jade. Cody Rhodes over Apollo Crews. Damian Priest over Kevin Owens. Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford over Tamatonga and Tongaloa. Roman Reigns over Randy Orton. Raw. CM Punk over Gunther and Rollins. Rhea Ripley over Maxine Dupree. Jey Uso over Dirty Dom. A-Town Down Under losing to The New Day. Roxanne Perez over Becky Lynch. We got Javon Evans over Oba Femi in a non-title match. Tony D'Angelo over Lexis King. Ethan Page over Trick Williams. Tatum Paxley, Wendy Chu over Jakara Jackson Sol Ruka. Thea Hale over Lola Vice. We start off with Chris Danger over Cedric Alexander. Carlito winning over Hornswoggle with a promo. Brandon Collins over Tyler Breeze. Oro Minsha over Giovanni Vinci, Kommander and Wesley. Gigi Dolan over Indy Hartwell. Cora Jade over Tegan Knox. And Joe Coffey with Gallius by his side over Karrion Kross. We got the Bloodline over Street Profits. The Miz over Fraxium of Axiom and Nathan Frazier and Randy Orton. Solo Sikoa over Berto and Apollo Crews, I should say, not Crews. LA Knight losing to Jacob Fatu, and Damian Priest over Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens. Got Bash in Berlin. Got Jey Uso over CM Punk. Roxanne over Becky. Bloodline over Street Profits. Bayley over Io Sky. DIY over Fraxium. Raquel Rodriguez over Lyra. And Cody Rhodes over Solo. Got Charlie over Tony. Brooks, Josh, and Javon over Stax, Lexus, and Andre Chase. Jason Jane Fallon over Jakara Jackson and Sol Ruka. Wendy Chu, Tatum Paxley got defeated by Jaden Parker and Kalani Jordan. Thea Hill over Lana Vice. Tony D'Angelo losing to Charlie. Then we got Raw afterwards. And it's Uso over Reed and Punk. Valhalla Ivy Nile over the Kabuki Warriors. Natalia over Raquel Rodriguez. War Raiders lost to Austin Theory and Seth Rollins. And then Becky Lynch over Bayley. We got Oba over Trick. Noam and Andre over Brooks and Channing Stacks. Tony D'Angelo losing to Josh Briggs. Ethan Page winning to Sean Spears. JC Jane Fountain losing to Jada and Lola Vice. We got Baron Corbin winning over Carlito. Joe Coffey, the champion, over Brandon Collins. Kid and Carter and Katana Chance over Elektra Lopez and Shotzi. Chris Danger winning over Tyler Breeze. Gigi Dolan over Ilya Dawn. Gallius beating Authors of Pain. And Dakota Kai over Tegan Knox. You got SmackDown. Bianca and Jade over Lash and Nia. Kevin Owens over The Miz. Angelo Dawkins over Tunga. Angel Berto over Fraxium. Roman Reigns over Damian, Solo, and Randy. That's the main event. We got Punk over Rollins. Kabuki Warriors over Zoe Stark in Valhalla. 30 Dom over Jey Uso. Eric over JD McDonough. Io Sky over Bayley. And the next show. We got JC Jane and Fallen over Jakara and Soul. Javon Evans and Charlie over Brooks and Channing. Tony over Josh. Lola Vice over Thea. And Oba Femi over Ethan Page. Then we got a non-title match with Joe Coffey winning over Chris Danger. Karrion Kross over Brandon Collins and Tyler Breeze. Indy over Gigi. Dakota Kai with the self promo. Shotzi and Electra over Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. Aiden Sky wins over Oro. And Carlito over Kommander. Simulate. So we got Roman Reigns over Damian. Jacob Fatu over Carmelo. Nia Jax over Charlotte. Tonga Loa over Montez. Kevin Owens over Cody Rhodes. Then we got Punk over Rollins. LWO over Alpha Academy. Dirty Dom over Sammy. Jaden McDonough over Ivar. Becky over Bailey. Yeah, following JC over Jakara and Soul. Stax versus Depsy. Thea Hale over Lola Vice and Nikita. Kalani over Tatum. And Oba over Noam Dar. We got Chris Danger over Karrion Kross and Joe Coffey. Baron Corbin over Hornswoggle. Brendan Collins over Tyler Breeze. In the Sky over Brody Hunter. Isla Dawn over Indy Hartwell. Wesley over Oro. Scarlett over Dakota Kai. And next show. Then we got Street for Profits over Bloodline. Jacob Fatu over Jimmy. Cody Rhodes over Uncle Howdy. Shinsuke over Apollo Crews. And Roman over Solo over Randy over Damien. Yeah, it's Punk over Rollins and Dirty Dom. JD McDonough over Eric. Jay Uso over Bronson. A-Town Down Under over The New Day. And Io over Rhea. We got Oba over Noam. Ethan Page over Sean Spears. Thea Hale over Lola Vice. Kalani Jordan over Tatum Paxley. And Charlie over Lexus King. I was about to say Ling, but it's King. We got Dakota Kai winning a promo over Tegan. Isla Dawn over Cora Jade. Scarlett over Indy Hartwell. Baron Corbin over Giovanni Vinci. Sonia over Blair Davenport. Brandon Collins over Joe Coffey. And Akira over Lily. So you got Drew and Apollo over the Bloodline. DIY over Pretty Deadly. Nia Jax over Charlotte Flair. Los Garza over 1520 to that nursing home. 20 days already that is being used up. And what's next is Cody Rhodes winning. Find one. And it is our PLE. So what I do with these videos is I only do the PLEs by itself. So to kind of open it up, of Ace Caveman will be going against Aiden Sky, and if Aiden Sky wins this one, he's had, I think, one other title defense maybe, or a couple of them, and if he wins this one, he moves up to the main title. We have one-on-one no holds bar with Tegan and Dakota, Baron Corbin against Carlito, Lily in a title match over Akira, Tyler Breeze over Wesley. We got a 6-man tag action of Wolfgang, Mark, and Chris Danger, and then all of the Final Testament with Authors of Pain and Carrion, and then Joe Coffey against Brandon Collins. So that will be in the next episode. Hopefully you appreciate this episode, and have a good one.